Hey docents, it's me Jeff again. We're back for video 3 for more about how we use the iPad to control science on a sphere. So let's get right into it. Video 1, we talked about the very basics. We used the iPad to control science on a sphere and some of the main buttons that we use. Video 2, I just sort of talked you through why we use Voyage 4 so much, why it's called a Voyage 4, and that tour of the solar system with those data sets that we have in that playlist. In this video, I want to show you a few more tricks to using the iPad that will help you give a better presentation. Very simple to use. Let's get started. So the first thing I want to show you is actually something that's going to happen to you a lot. It happens to all of us, but I don't want you to freak out. Just be calm. It's only going to take 2 seconds. What I want to do, you can see that we are on the blue marble, so I just talked to my guests about the Earth. Next, I want to show them our moon in the tour of the solar system, our Voyage 4. So let's say I want to go to our moon phases data set, but I accidentally click on moon. Uh-oh. I actually have to wait for that entire data set to come up. That was, 1 full second or a second and a half before I'm able to click on the moon phases. Don't worry about it. Your guests will be patient for a second and a half. Don't be nervous. Okay, so we're on the moon phases data set, and I want you to pay attention to what's happening. Our moon phases data set actually runs through a full rotation of the moon's phases for an entire lunar month. But what I want to show you is, in this data set, it's a really good way to show you 2 different things. Number 1, I showed you on the first video, which is our pause button. It's that play button right there. Play and pause, same button, just like all of our other devices, but it will pause my moon phases. And let's say I forgot to get the laser pointer, so it's not in my pocket or in my hand. Well, I can use this button right here called Annotate. When I click on Annotate, I will see a pointer on my iPad, but my guests don't see anything yet. Well, it's only because I'm sitting on the opposite side of where the pointer came out. So if I continue to bring it around the sphere sideways, you'll see that pointer right there. So, like on the lunar surface, I do this in all of my tour of the solar systems. I like to show the terminator line on the moon. So I can use this pointer, this annotate button right up here on the iPad to get this pointer so I can direct my guests' eyes exactly where I want them to look to show the detail on the terminator line versus where you can't see the dark part and you can't see detail where it's too bright. Annotate is a really cool trick to use. Once we are done with our annotating and we're highlighting, we still have this arrow and we don't want it. So we just go back to the button next to it called Present, and it will give us back our regular controls, and then we can continue our show. So the next thing I want to show you, we will actually go to Mars. Okay, so since Mars looks a little bit too bright in our video, I'm actually using a data set called Saturn Photo, and it's a picture-in-picture, so it's called a PIP on here sometimes. But I like to show this one, and I want to show you guys a different tool that we can highlight information on our science on a sphere. And it's the next button over right at the top. We've already done Annotate. So now we're going to click on Zoom. And just in case your Zoom tool is on the other side, you do the same thing we did with the Annotate arrow, the pointer arrow. We bring our magnifying circle right to where we want. And this is an image that was taken of Saturn from the far side of Saturn from the Earth back in 2013. And I used the Zoom tool to highlight this dot right here, which is planet Earth. So I like to tell our guests that we are in this photo, but you have to show it. You have to point out which blue dot in this picture is the Earth. So there are some other cool tools for controlling science on a sphere. I'm going to end this video 3 here, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, everybody.